Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums. I am bringing you back another mini album using the same tutorial I used in the beginning of the month. This time I used the Let's Go Camping collection from Echo Park. I also used some craft colored cardstock to stretch this out. So here's the thing. I was making one album, and then as I was cutting the paper, I was thinking, you know what? Probably have enough for two albums. I did have two extra sheets of the 3x4 journaling cards and two extra sheets of the 4x4 journaling cards, but I didn't have extra stickers. So I decided not to use the stickers at all. So that is the only thing left of this collection. So let me show you what I have. They are identical books. They are 6.5 by 6.5, and the pages are 6 by 6. Are the pages 6 by 6? Now I say that, and now I'm 6.25 by 6.25. No, they're 6 by 6. And the reason, not the reason, but by having the pages 6 by 6, it allowed me to get more than one book. If I had the pages bigger, I wouldn't be able to, because if you have 6 by 6 pages, and actually that means I cut the paper 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. So that means I could cut 4 papers from each sheet. And what that means is I could make 2 mini albums. But again, I didn't have an extra set of stickers, so I just used the cut-aparts that were in the collection. So I did something a little different. I used my sewing machine and stitched around the perimeter of this mat and then this mat just to add a little extra oomph to it. The book measures 6.5 by 6.5 with a 2-inch spine. The pages, as I said, were 6 by 6. So let me take you inside. And again, there is a tutorial. And I'll tell you all about all the scraps I had left. The front inside cover has this mat with a pocket. Pocket with a flap. That's what I meant to say. Inside the pocket, I did put a photo mat, a tag, which actually you could use as a bookmark, and I thought I was very clever. This was the branding strip, and of course it was Let's Go Camping, and I thought that went really nice in there. You could use that as a bookmark if you don't want it in there. That says camp, and then here is a journaling card. So, and then the background of this was a just a piece of what kind of paper? Just cardstock I had in my stash. So here is this. The tutorial that I give you actually has 3x4 cut-aparts, and this is a 4x4, so you just have to make that adjustment. I did use that craft color cardstock again on the back of a lot of the flaps, just to give you some extra room for journaling or photos and to stretch my paper. Loved the tent paper. Each page has a hidden photo mat. They all have the decorative paper on the front and the craft cardstock on the back. So you could journal and add a photo, or just journal, and you can add a photo to the front or just leave it blank, whatever you want to do. So here is the second page. Again, to stretch the paper, I used some of these border strips that were available with the collection. That means that this paper, it did not have to be 6 by 6, but I did keep it 6 by 6 or 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, but so it would fit inside the pocket. It helped me stretch the paper a little bit. Here are more of the 3x4 journaling cards, and I did have some paper. There were some journaling cards I decided not to use, so this is the back of them. Otherwise, there's the craft cardstock. So that goes in that pocket. Room to put your photo here. Here is our hidden photo mat. In this case, I just used this paper. This was the back of paper that had the border strip that I decided not to use. So again, that stretched the paper. Here's our journaling cards. There's the back of that. I did have, oh no, this wasn't where the border strip was. This was the extra paper that I had. So I had the collection, which is 12 double-sided pages, plus 3 of these. I was going to use that on the front predominantly, but it just helped me stretch the collection so I could get 2. Now, if you are trying to make 2 mini albums with 1 collection, you really need to supplement it with this tutorial. Otherwise, if you did 4 pages instead of 5, you could probably make it work. But it doesn't have to be something with the collection. You could use a dot or stripe paper, or even just some, I mean, the back of this could have been plain paper. It could have been just cardstock. But anyhow, that's how I made it work. Here is one of the 4x4 cut-aparts, again with the craft cardstock. There is our hidden photo mat. I loved this paper. This is the back of this paper. In order to make it stretch, there's only 1 of each in the collection. Like I said, there's 12 double-sided sheets. 1 sheet, and I cut it into 6x6 squares and then cut it down 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. I cut this down. This was a border strip, and by using that, it meant I could cut this paper probably 1 3/4, so that way I could tuck this in here. It's probably in, yeah, about 1/2 inch more than you can see. But in order to do this, I took this page and cut this square out of it, added a piece of cardstock as a mat, and then flip this one over and put it on top. Does that make sense to you? I had to cut a hole. I flipped it over and put it on top. I could have just glued it, but I added a mat to cover that hole. Here is another 4x4 cut apart. This was a cut apart that I fussy cut and added to a piece of the craft colored cardstock. I just wanted something on the pocket, otherwise it would have been plain. This was one of the badges that's on this paper, and I really liked it. Maybe I should have flipped it and done it the other way, but that's okay. There is our photo mat. We're using Story Nights. Now, if I was using stickers, I would have put a sticker here, but it's okay. I mean, there's enough going on with this, and you could use this paper just to add a, to journal on. Oh, it's in the paper. So anyhow, there's that. There's that. Here's our photo mat. When I finished the project, I had this piece of paper left over, a whole 12 by 12. So yeah, that's why you see it twice. It's also here in our hidden photo mats. If I didn't point it out to you, you probably wouldn't have noticed. And it's okay, it's sleeping bags. It's what you do when you're camping. This is again a little deviation from the tutorial. This is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I mean, I've done it before in the book, but I did back it on a 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 piece of the craft colored cardstock, just because I wanted it to stand out. So that opens. I did not put any more paper on here. It was getting thick, so I just left it. But I do like this page grouping, don't you? So this is a 3x4 cut apart. I think it works because there is this craft color cut apart here. There's trees there. There's trees in the background. This outline matched this paper. I could use this craft color cardstock on here, and it breaks it up. So anyhow, there's that. There's that. And then I used this to put on the waterfall. I didn't use a 4x6 cut apart. I didn't have 2, so I didn't use any. And that'll open like that. And then there is room to put 8 photos, including, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 photos. And again, you could put this like this and glue it down and it's a tuck spot. And this can go like this. In some of the albums, I've done it like that. But I liked this here. So I used this cut apart, put it on 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 black cardstock, added the magnet underneath here, and that makes our flap for the waterfall. Just a little different. Here's my back cover. There is the spine, and there we are. Anyhow, there is a tutorial showing you basically how to make the mini album. There are some adjustments. Again, 4 by 4 instead of 3 by 4, and that's probably it. Yeah, 4 by 4 instead of 3 by 4, just because that's how it worked. And then the measurements are the same on here, except for the 3 by 4 cut apart. On the other one, I think it was a 2 by 3 piece of paper. But still, if you guys make mini albums, you could figure this out. So that's what I have for you today. I'm really excited about this. I was happy to get this collection, and I'm glad that I've made... Oh, wait, let me show you what I had left. First of all, let me show you all of the scraps I had left. I'm going to just insert a photo here. And Carly, one of the gals from our collab, made... I don't know what she made, but she glued the strips of paper together. And I thought, you know what? I know that trick and I haven't used it in a while. So I took the strips because that's pretty much what I had. Some were a little thicker than the others. And I made some bookmarks, and I'm going to put them up in the lodge. Look, I used the border strip again. I'm going to put them up in the lodge and let people take them if they want to. Because there's like a free library up at the lodge where I'm camping right now. So, yeah, just thought there would be something a little fun and a little different. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fabulous day.